Welcome, horror fans, to Terrifier Stories. Tonight, we dive deep into a chilling tale that will make you question the silence in your own home. The Silent Watcher. It was a cold, moonless night in the small town of Crestwood, nestled far from the bright lights of the city. The people who lived there were used to the stillness, the quiet. Life moved slowly, as if time itself took a breath and lingered. But things were changing. Meet the Harris family, Jonathan, Claire, and their daughter, Lily. The family had just moved into an old house on the outskirts of town, one that had been abandoned for years. The real estate agent assured them that it was a great deal, that the house was just waiting for someone to bring it back to life. What they didn't know is that it wasn't the house that needed to come alive. It was something else. Something that had been waiting. It started with small things. Objects out of place. A door slightly ajar when it had been closed. A feeling of being watched, even when no one was around. At first, they brushed it off. After all, it was an old house. Settling noises, drafts, creaking wood, all common with age. But as the days went by, the disturbances grew worse. Lily began waking up at the same time every night, around 3:15 a.m. She would sit up in bed, staring at the corner of the room with wide, terrified eyes, saying she could see something. "Mom, it's in the corner, it's watching me," she would whisper, her voice shaking with fear. Claire tried to comfort her, but deep down, she felt it too. The air in the house was thick with an unnatural coldness, and the oppressive silence pressed in on her. Something wasn't right. Then one evening, Jonathan, exhausted from his workday, went to bed early. As he drifted into sleep, he felt a strange sensation, a sensation of eyes on him. He opened his eyes, but no one was there. Just the shadows of the room, undisturbed. But then, something caught his attention. Through the corner of his eye, he saw a faint shape, a silhouette, too dark to make out, standing perfectly still near the window. His heart pounded in his chest, but when he turned to look directly, nothing was there. That was when the family realized they weren't alone. The presence in the house wasn't a ghost or a spirit. It wasn't something from the afterlife. It was something much darker, something older. Something that had been waiting for them, waiting in the silence, hidden just beyond the edge of their vision. The Silent Watcher. As the nights went on, the Watcher grew bolder. It would move closer, always just out of sight, always watching. No matter where they went, it was there, lurking in the shadows of every room. Jonathan set up cameras, but when he reviewed the footage, nothing appeared on the screen. It was as if the Watcher could erase itself from existence, only leaving behind an unshakable feeling of dread. The house felt smaller, as if the walls were closing in. The temperature dropped, and the air thickened. Claire could no longer deny it. Whatever was in their house wanted something. But what? One night, desperate for answers, Claire turned to an old book she found in the attic, buried beneath dust and cobwebs. It was an ancient journal, written in faded ink. The entry spoke of an entity, a force that fed off fear, a being that could only be seen through reflection or in the corner of your vision. A watcher, it said, that grew stronger the longer it was ignored. And once it chose you, it never left. But the worst part? The journal warned that the Watcher's next step was always the same. It would take its victim in the dead of night, dragging them into the shadows where no one could hear them scream. The next morning, Lily disappeared. Jonathan and Claire searched frantically, calling her name, but there was no sign of her. No trace, no clue. It was as if she had simply vanished. In the darkness of their home, they finally understood the silent watcher had come for their daughter. And now, it was coming for them too. The final moments of the Harris family were never recorded. The neighbors heard nothing, saw nothing. Just the silence. And then, the house stood empty. The watcher waited once more, unseen, until the next family would make the same mistake. To move in. Remember, silence is never truly empty. It's always filled with something waiting. Thank you for joining us tonight on Terrifier Stories. If you enjoyed The Silent Watcher, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more spine-chilling tales that will haunt your dreams. And always remember, the most terrifying thing in the world is what you can't see.